Hi guys, welcome back again to my channel. If it's your first time stopping by, hi baby, my name is Oyinka and you're most definitely welcome. Now in today's video, I'm just going to be sharing some basic etiquettes for when you are going on a date with someone you don't know. This is basically tips for like dating in your 20s because I'm in my 20s, although I will soon be leaving the 20s gang soon in just a few years, but I am still in my 20s and I wanted to share these tips with you because I have seen a few ladies here and there make some mistakes. Like I even know some personally who have made these mistakes, and I spoke with a few guys, some of my male friends, about this too, and they also told me that some things were complete no-nos for them in terms of dating. So since I have a channel where I create femininity and female health and lifestyle content, I decided to just bring them to you because I want you guys to be high value women. Trust me, you are premium and bomb jollof rice. You are a speck and more, and until you start to see yourself that way, many people around you won't treat you as such. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, then you definitely want to keep on watching. Now the reason why I'm sharing these tips is because many women are too excited at the thought of dating, so they tend to overdo things, and I just want us to be safe in as much as we're trying to find love. But safety is very important. That's why the first tip that I'm going to be sharing is to do your research. Now you want to make sure that you research the guy that you're going to be going out with. Don't just go out with a random person because the streets are not safe these days. Everybody's random at first, to be honest. Everybody's a random person to somebody at first, but you want to do your due diligence in terms of research. Try to get to at least know the person, have an idea of the person. If it was your friend who linked you guys up, you can ask the friend few questions about the guy so that you have a little bit more information. If you know his name, you can look him up on Facebook, you can look him up on Instagram, you can even Google him because some people's names pop up on Google, so that you just have a little information about the guy. And when you're eventually going out on this date with the guy, you want to make sure that you tell somebody where you are going to, because again, like I said, the streets are not safe. So communicate your location. If you're going to be taking an Uber, share your Uber ride with your family or your friends and let the guy know that you have shared it. I'm not saying you have to say it in a spooky way that comes off as, oh, you don't trust me. No, that's not what I'm saying, but you can politely let him know that. I even told my friends that I was coming to Oxtail restaurant so that he knows that your friends or people around you are aware of your location, just in case there want to be any funny tricks here and there. You are protected. Girls have to look out for each other. I felt like this just had to be the number one tip. So again, do your research and make sure that you share your details, the details of your date, with at least someone who you are comfortable with. Now this leads me to my next point. The fact that a guy asked you out on a date or asked you out to, have lunch with him or something does not mean that he wants you to be his girlfriend. So don't make any assumptions. A lot of ladies make assumptions and it's a major put off for men. I can tell you for free. And if you have any males around you, you can ask them. Men don't like when women make assumptions, even if they were planning to start something, because the woman had already made assumptions and started acting at the wife role even when she wasn't even a girlfriend. It can be a bit of a put off because you're coming off too strongly. So don't make any assumptions. Just go into that date with an open mind, like your friends, like a platonic friendship. If it's going to be more than that eventually, good, but at least for the first time that you're meeting him, don't go and start talking about how many children you want to have. Oh, when is our wedding going to be? Or start planning your wedding reception in your mind. Don't do that. It's a bit of a put off for a lot of men. Okay, just go with an open mind and have broad conversations. Allow him to steer the conversation, okay? And if you're not comfortable with the direction that the conversation is going, you can politely shift that direction. And if you are too forward, you will appear desperate, and high value women don't appear desperate. Now this takes me to my next point, which is dress to impress. Now, I'm not saying that all your boobies have to be out in the open, all your goodies have to be out in the open. That's not what I'm saying. But you want to dress to impress. You want to look put together. You want to look like you actually put in an effort. Imagine showing up for a date and you're wearing rumpled clothes, or you didn't even bother to clean your shoes, or you didn't rub like lotion on your body. It doesn't tell nicely of you. So you want to at least put in an effort so that the guy knows that you made an effort. And this even goes to the minute details like your breath and your smell. Darling, make sure you brush your teeth and use perfume, use body sprays, so that immediately you enter, he gets a whiff of you, he is automatically in a better mood than what he was before. Don't be going there smelling like crayfish or smelling like the market. It's very distasteful, to be honest. The truth of the matter is that guys are moved by what they see a lot. So you want to avoid, especially on the first date, showing too much goodies. It doesn't tell nicely of you, to be honest. You tend to look ratchet rather than put together or classy. When clothes are too revealing, you don't come off as a high value woman. And even if you don't want to wear makeup, it's not compulsory, but you can just put like some Vaseline or lip balm on your lips so that your lips are not dry and cracked. That doesn't look sexy, to be honest. So at the end of the day, the most important thing is do what makes you comfortable. Make sure that you pass off a high value woman vibe, because at the end of the day, people address you how you are dressed. First impressions matter a lot, especially with this type of thing. My next point would be, don't be late. Listen, I know that things happen here and there, and sometimes you may be late for an event, but if you told the guy that you're going to meet him by 8, please keep it at 8. Don't be late. Lateness is not sexy, to be honest. How can a guy invite you for a date and then you're keeping him waiting for 1 hour or 30 minutes? No. If you must be late, please communicate with the guy. Send him a message or call him and tell him that you're going to be late and explain the reason for being late. It just is the polite thing to do. People have other things that they want to do with their time. Don't keep him waiting. So my next point would be to always make sure that you carry enough money to at least pay for your half of the bill and your transport fare. There's something that is so common in Nigeria where girls are always asking the guy to pay for their transport fare. It is unfair and it is not very classy for you to show up at a date and still be asking the guy to pay for your transport fare. If you know that you cannot afford to pay for your transport fare at that time, then I think it would be better for you to politely decline that date than for you to just go on a date and still be asking the guy to pay for your transport fare. It is unfair. It is not very ladylike, and you don't come off as a high value woman. More often than not, you would come off as a tacky woman or a cheap woman or a scrappy person. So if you cannot afford to pay for your half of the bill or for your transport fare, then please just politely decline. There are some ladies that would go on a date with a guy and then they'll order the most expensive thing on the menu. Don't do that. Can you afford the most expensive thing on the menu? If you can't afford it, then why are you ordering the most expensive thing on the menu? It doesn't tell nicely of you. You come off as gold digger. You don't come off classy. So think about it. If for whatever reason this guy cannot pay for my bill or cannot pay for my meal, will I be able to afford it? If you can't afford it, then best believe that you shouldn't order it. Okay, so don't put the guy in an awkward position. Another one that is really common is girls showing up for a date with their friends. I mean, a guy invited you for a date and you brought 2 of your friends along. It's not nice at all. If you don't trust the guy, then don't go for the date. But why should you bring 2 of your friends along? The guy didn't budget to feed 2 extra people. He just budgeted for him and you. So bringing 2 other people is very, very rude. And sometimes they don't even tell the guy that they're bringing other people. They just show up with 2 other people, and those ones too will be ordering expensive things on the menu. It doesn't tell nicely of you. So you really want to avoid that, especially if you're trying to come off as a high value woman. Maybe it might even lead to a love relationship. You don't know. But by the time you start doing all these things, I can promise you that it will lead to nowhere. That will just be the end of that relationship. The next thing, especially to keep yourself from having heartbreaks, is to keep your expectations low. Don't be expecting too much. I mean, just go with an open mind. Don't expect him to be anything. Just go with an open mind and go with the flow. Let him lead the conversation. Let him set the tone, okay? This is closely related to my next point, which is the fact that you shouldn't talk about yourself alone. There's nothing that is more off-putting than when you meet somebody and the person is just going on and on yapping about themselves alone, talking about how their ex-boyfriend did this to them, or talking about how their house rent is due. It is very, very off-putting. Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't come off as a high value woman when you do that. And to be honest, we are all trying to level up, so don't do that. Don't be talking about yourself alone. Don't be yapping on and on about yourself. Keep the topics very broad. You can talk about broad things like entertainment, maybe music or sports, something very broad that you and him would be able to converse about, not about the details of your life, especially on the first date. It is very, very off-putting. Last but not the least, and I know that this is a very controversial topic, is keep your cookie inside the cookie jar. The first date definitely is not the best time to be giving everybody your cookie. That's just not the best time. And again, I said that this is a very controversial point because I know that there are some people who have given up their cookie on the first date and they ended up getting married to the person. But to be honest, I don't think that that's the way it should be. I feel like your cookie should be kept till at least, even if you don't want to keep it till marriage, but at least until you are very sure that this guy is the person. Because giving up your cookie so quickly tells very poorly on you. It tells that you are cheap, quote and unquote, and that you have very little self-control. And many times when you do that, you may be thinking, oh, he'll want me more if I give up my cookie, but then you already gave it up, so there's nothing to even want. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, I believe that keeping your cookie in the cookie jar is literally the best thing you can do for yourself, especially when you are on your first date. Just keep it at hugs if you must, or pecks on the cheeks if you must. Very, very platonic. Nothing too deep. Leave him wanting more. Leave him wanting more. Leave him wanting more. I cannot overemphasize this. If you are just opening yourself up all at once, then there's nothing to want. There's no more mystery to you. You have just opened everything all at once, and the odds of him wanting to hook up with you again another time, slim to none. Okay, slim to none, if I'm being honest. So yeah, that is all I'm going to be sharing in this video. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please let me know down in the comment section. Give it a massive thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and hit that subscribe button down below to join this family. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.